Hi, I'm Ellie. I'm your host for Healing Addictions. Thank you so much for joining us. We are live from WYTV7, Christian Broadcasters Network. Our topic today is powerlessness. In our books and in the knowledge about addiction, the first thing you have to admit is you're powerless over alcohol, or over drugs, or over eating, over any addictive behavior, and your life has become unmanageable. And what happens is that our life does become unmanageable. I've now had 23 years of sobriety, not using drugs or alcohol. But when I was out there, I was so powerless about, I called it fun, and I thought it was a fad, and I thought I would go away when I had more security in my life. But the truth is I was powerless over drugs and alcohol, and my life was unmanageable. And of course, having an addictive personality, as I do, I have to be careful about everything. But today we're going to speak about just alcoholism and drug addiction. So what we mean by powerlessness, if we are in a bar and we say, I'm going to have one drink, and our intent is to really have one drink, but something happens in our mind that after the first drink, because they call it a physical allergy. What they mean by that is we have a mental obsession and a physical allergy to drugs and alcohol. So what that means is once we have it in our bodies, we can't stop. So if we say we're going to have one drink, and after the first drink, we physically can't stop ourselves from having another drink. Not that you never had that option, because at the beginning I had that option, but it's like once we're a pickle, which we start with a pickle, then we turn into a cucumber. So when we keep using or drinking, we don't have the power to stop. So we then say a higher power has got to help us because the addiction takes over from us. And that's how it all started. And the powerlessness goes with a lot of things, low self-esteem, maybe childhood trauma, maybe today trauma, domestic abuse. Any core issue can make us and turn us to go to drugs and alcohol, because that seems like our little vacation for a while. And it works for some people very well, but most it doesn't, because of our motives. What motives are we drinking for? Is it we get home from work and we have one drink before dinner? That's a healthy motive. That's all right to do. But there never was one drink or one drug with me. It was more and more and more. And you can never be content with just one, because one won't do the trick and 1,000's too many. So you have to really decide and be who you are, is that I am powerless over this, and my life is becoming unmanageable, because you get legal problems, marital problems, kid problems, work problems. You get every kind of problem in which really you want to blame on other people, but it's about us and the powerlessness about who we are. So next week, I'll talk about step 2. And there's 12 steps in an addictive person. But basically, if you start to notice that you cannot just have one drink or one drug, and you think about it, I was thinking about it all the time. I used to teach aerobics. So on the way home, I would have drinks. Then I'd get home and I'd have drinks, because that wasn't enough drink in the car in those days. And then I would continue to think about, I was predestined to think about what I was doing about drinking and drugging all the time, all day long. A normal person doesn't think like that. A normal person says, oh, I'll have a drink. It's not a big deal. But for me, it was life. I need to have a drink. I need to have the drug. I need to live life distant. I didn't want to live in life. I had to live a distant because life was hurtful to me. And because of my childhood and because of my choices I made in life that weren't always great. So today, I know I'm powerless, so I don't go to the bar with my friends when they go. I don't go around drinking people unless, it's Christmas or a holiday. I really try to protect myself from the disease of addiction, and I hope you do too. So I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good evening and week, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us.